Hello everybody and welcome to the Devlog. In this video we're going to be showing a whole bunch of new stuff, including a new town. Well, not really new, just a divvied off bit of the town. A bunch of new characters that Spicy Lemon member number 1 drew. He did a really good job on those. And the movement system being implemented into the new town. And I'll be honest, it was pretty good. And the drawings, we have quite a bit this time. So buckle up. You're not in a car right now. Maybe you are. I don't really care. But, yeah, we got a lot in store for you, and we can't wait. So without further ado, let's go on to the video.
Spicy Lemon.
Okay, so starting off, we have a bunch of new Oogy characters. Now, Oogy was the original partner that we were going to have for Spunk, and he still is. He's a really good character, and we just love the way he looked. So we figured this new first town, that's going to be mentioned in a couple bits going up, we figured that it would be really, really cool if we had the entire town look like him. Basically a species of his own. So we have quite a diverse cast of characters, but let me just give you the rundown. If I remember correctly, a lot of the soft-spoken and quieter ones are going to be put in Snowtown, because winter is one of those seasons that's more like, it's relaxing, it's very charming. It's nice to be in winter, it's nice and cold, it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's very nice, but it's going to be perfect for that style of Oogy characters. I believe autumn is going to be filled with pumpkin spice drinkers. I believe one has a pumpkin spice latte because, you know, we have to throw that nod to that. And I think there might be another one. I'm trying to remember. You'll probably see it in the footage here, but use the key at the top right if it's not already there to see which one belongs to which. It'll be coming soon. Summer is going to have a pretty tragic backstory for the people who are there, and I'll give a small rundown of it. It's going to be a dad and his 2 girls who are complete polar opposites from each other. One of them is extremely angry for what happened, and which is why, you know, it's going to be a side quest that you can do eventually. But the dad, he was heartbroken over something that you'll have to find out in the game, but when he gets heartbroken, he dedicates his life to grilling. And when you think about it, summer is, not to say you can't grill anytime else, but summer is the perfect time for a backyard BBQ, enjoying at the pool, grilling up some burgers and stuff like that. Or maybe that's just an American tradition. I don't know. Sorry for anybody else out there. But usually that's how my summer goes. But, the girls are going to be polar opposites because of what happened. One girl's going to be extremely angry, and the other's going to be very quiet and soft-spoken. Now, obviously, this is going to happen because, you know, people react differently to tragedies, so, yeah. And the Spring Towners, I'm trying to remember, I think they'll be more like peppy and cheery, maybe goofy. I think of spring more as a funny season, a great time for allergies, which I hate. So, yeah, on to the next bit. Okay, now we have some more villagers for the Mushroom Village. Don't think it's gone just because it's going to be getting destroyed in the intro cutscene. Once you get back, you're going to be able to find a load of different characters there, including some of Spunk's own. But for now, these guys are going to be the initial race there before the robots came. Now, obviously, they're going to live together harmoniously in a good relationship. Science class, there's a word for that. I might leave it in the comments down below, but they're living together peacefully. And the Mushroom Town people, we were trying to go for the, almost like maybe like a Smurfs style effect. Like, I know the houses look a lot like a Smurf village, but we wanted it to be like, some of them were happy, some of them were not. We wanted it to be in between, but we wanted that just because the village got destroyed, and nobody's going to be happy if their hometown gets destroyed, I'll be honest. I wouldn't be happy if my hometown got destroyed, so yeah, these people aren't going to be too happy about it. And we threw a funny nod to the one in the bottom right, I think. Do what you will with its design. I think it's quite funny, but the main one is going to be, I think it's around the top right. It's in that middle section. It's the tall one with the sad expression and the big, almost clown-like nose in the center. I really like the way he or she looks, and I figured that we could use them for a side quest maybe coming up or something to progress the main story. So, on to the next bit. Alrighty, so we also have a bit on the other town coming up. Now, this might be where the snake is going to be that we mentioned in the last section, but basically the jester guy, dang, we still haven't come up with a name for him. We have to get on that, but eventually he's going to come through this town, and instead of flipping it upside down or turning it into different themed sections, which will be coming in the next bit, he's going to remove all the color from it, and that's about it. On to the next section. Alright, so the gimmick for this town, and basically if you didn't already know, I described it a little bit back in the other section, but all the different towns are going to have a different gimmick done to them. Like in Spunkstown, Mushtown, in the beginning, it's going to get flipped upside down on top of it, and all the houses are going to get destroyed, but it's going to be in a wacky manner. So basically, different things are going to happen to each different town. And in this town specifically, where Oogy's family lives, we are going to find there's going to be different sections of the town turned into different seasons. And the people who reside there are going to have to adapt to the area. Now, because of this, they're going to be a little bit jealous of each other. They're going to start to adapt, and with doing so, they're going to realize, oh, well, this season is better than that season. And so because of this, there's going to be a little bit of a divide between the town. And so in order to solve the main quest and try to get out of there, because remember, you have to make it through the mountains. In order to do so, you need to go through a cave. In that cave, I believe you're going to need the help of a bunch of different villagers. And in order to do that, you're going to need to help them out with their own thing. You can't be selfish. A hero is a hero, and you got to help out everyone. That's kind of what we want to do with Spunk. We don't want him to be too hardcore. So now, basically in this first town, it's going to be called Summertown. And in this town, we're going to be basically designing it summer-themed. Now, in the recording, I made sure to add a bunch of chairs. Thank you to Blender Kit, the people who donated it there, for getting those designs. It was royalty-free, so thank you very much. I'll leave a link for your channel, maybe something in the description. Basically, give them love because they added a lot to the chairs. And another person did the grill, so I'll leave their link in the description as well if I remember. I'm sorry if I don't. It's been a little bit stressful over the past couple days, so I'm sorry. But besides that, in this town, it's going to be summer-themed. We're going to have cornhole, which is a pretty traditional summer theme in America, at least. And I like cornhole. I'm actually quite good at it. We're going to be gathered around the campfire to sing the campfire song. Get the reference. But basically, it's going to be all summer-themed. There's going to be a grill. There's going to be the Oogy dad who grills there. And there's going to be different quests that you can take. In the center, there's going to be a swimming pool, and I think Spunk might heal some health from it. I'm not too sure. Maybe, maybe not. Some of these mechanics I don't want them to be too overpowered, because then that breaks the balance of the game. And if you break the balance of the game, then you're going to have to put out updates, and we don't want to update it too much, because that requires a lot of work, and we still have our lives as well. Not saying that we're lazy, but you gotta remember, games take quite a bit of time, as I do say in a lot of other videos, but we're glad to make these. But, we have cornhole, we're going to have a grill. I believe there was a water slide section, but I had to cut it out, mainly because it didn't fit too well. I believe there was a portion of land that I made, which, by the way, these new land pieces I've been using with a simple design tactic that I'd love to share here. Basically, I made a bunch of different platforms, like a circle, a rectangle, and a bunch of different platforms with a chunk of land on the bottom and a bit of grass or something on top. And then I was able to just move these around and make a little arena for Spunk to walk in. And we have the movement system coded for that, which that'll be coming up in a couple sections. But for now, we've basically got it all figured out. And also to add, each portion is going to be surrounded by trees, because normally this would be found in the woods. And because of this, each different section is going to be surrounded by trees known to the different areas. So for Summertown, they're going to be light green. So without further ado, on to the next section. Alrighty, besides the summer portion of the town, we also have the autumn portion. And in this area of the town, we're basically going to be having an autumn theme. And when you think of autumn, what first comes to mind? I think of beautiful weather, or at least for me, I like the cold. I think of pumpkin spice lattes. They're pretty good, not gonna lie. Pumpkin spice in general also works. I think of Halloween, at least down here in America. I keep saying that quite a bit. Still, I'll think of Halloween and jack-o'-lanterns and all that fun stuff. I think of pumpkins. I think of pumpkin picking. I love pumpkin picking. It's one of my favorite things to do, actually. I love the look of the trees. I love the colors. The colors just go so well, at least for me. Whenever the trees turn that nice orange, a little bit darker, maybe velvet red, and maybe a little bit yellow, I think. Maybe. All those warm colors are just great. I love it. And I think it'll go perfectly with this section of the town. So, the thing you're going to have to do in this town is quite simple. You're going to have to prove to the people that using a apple chuck and slingshot is better than a snowball fight. Let me explain. Whenever you go to like a fair or like a fall festival, at least here, I've participated in something called an apple chucking thing. I think you basically take an apple and you put it in a slingshot and launch it. Now, they're not wasting food. These are all old apples that aren't good and fell from the tree. You're not gonna waste food. You need to make money, and you have to use all the stuff you got. So all the rotten stuff and not good stuff is gonna go here. Now, mind you, they're still holdable, but basically you're going to have a little target competition. And I want it to be where when you launch it at the target, there's going to be different prizes you can win. I think you should get like a special achievement if you max out the scores. Maybe if you beat the person, you're gonna get the thing for the main quest. But there's other things that you can win. And I think especially what I want to do is throw in some items that'll help Spunk along the way. This should be one of those little mini games that you can actually win some stuff from. Now, this along with the snowball fight, which I don't really have any footage for Wintertown. I wish I did, but besides that, it's basically going to look like a ski resort with a bunch of trees surrounding it and a little bit of fencing. Basically almost like a pine forest. So, we're going to have a little bit of a snowball fight there. So you are going to try and aim at the NPCs as best you can. We're still implementing that. And you're going to try and beat them in a snowball fight. And if you do both, you can both show them that they're both great. And you both beat them at both of them, so obviously you know what's good. I don't think that's a good ruling, but, I mean, they'll believe it because I'm the game dev here. What I say goes. But, besides that, that's all we got. With the design of Wintertown, also, we're going to be using quite a bit more cabins there. I figured that the cabin look would go good, and the main area of Cabin Town, I think I might have to simplify it a bit, maybe get rid of a couple houses to add them to the different areas, maybe make a couple different styles, but if I don't do that, then they'll be registered to towns, maybe side quests, or a couple other things to get you used to the game. Maybe a little tutorial house or an NPC that you can talk to for fun. I don't know. I want it to be humor. I want it to have a lot of funny jokes and references in it, so I might even it out. But besides that, let's go into the next section. Alright, so I'm going to try and explain this next section as best as I can, since, like I've said before, I'm not really that good at coding. That's more Spicy Lemon member number 3's cup of tea, but I'm going to try and attempt it, so. For a movement system, we did cover this a little bit earlier, but I'm also going to be showing how we're going to get it into the new town areas. So, starting off, a movement system consists of a couple basic scripts. True or false statements, variables representing where the keys are, and key maps, I think. I don't really know. I'm sorry if I'm saying any of these terms wrong. And basically settings that you can use. I think they're variables. I'm not sure. Settings that you can use to basically check which thing controls which. Now, in our case, we want this to be not slippery. I know platformers sometimes like to go for that effect to make it excruciating. Or they'll just crank up the difficulty, but I'll be honest, it's in between. But we want it to be very concise. When you stop, you stop. When you jump, then you need little air control, but enough. Remember, in the paper, in the, I guess, other companies that do the 2.5D styles, they do it where it's nice and concise, and we want to go for that as well. When we were playing these games, we really enjoyed them, and we wanted to go for that style of movement. I think it goes well with those, and I think if we stray away from that, it might not be as good. Especially since we're not trying to make this a rage game. We want you to laugh. We want humor. Funny. But besides that, that's how the movement system works. So true or false statements, if it's not walking, it's not moving. If it's moving, it's not. Different variables representing which keys they go to, and when you press a key, if it moves forward or not. I only did Scratch. I did block coding. I don't really know anything about this, but I know the basics here. But I do know back when I was working on some other projects that you need to label out which areas you can walk on and which areas you cannot. So because of this, I think you have to section it off. I remember watching a Bracky's tutorial on it with Sebastian Lage. Go check out both of their channels. I think I might leave a link in the description down below. Not too sure. It's a little... I might. But, yeah. You should totally go check them two out. But, in that tutorial series, I saw that you need to... I believe there's, sections that you need to paint, maybe? Or select that you can walk on and what you can't. And this is good because if Spunk runs into a wall, maybe like a staircase, and he doesn't go up, then that's gonna make it, you have to jump, and that's inconvenient. We don't want that. We want it to push you up. So we have some code in the making for that. But for now, that's pretty much how you label it off. So without further ado, let's go into the next section. Alrighty, and that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you really enjoyed, why don't you leave a like down below? You don't have to, it's always optional. Why don't you subscribe if you really liked it? Again, Always optional, but we always appreciate it. It'll help us keep making videos like these. If you have any suggestions for the jester name, leave it down below. We're still trying to come up with it. Even funny descriptions work. We want him to look like a measly little character that people will laugh at. But besides that, if you want us to review your channel, we will definitely do it. We're not qualified, but we love seeing other people's content. It's nice, and it gives us some ideas to help improve ours. So we'd love to see your content as well. And without further ado, also a big shout out to my parents, Mom and Dad. Thank you. Thank you for putting up with me as I've been recording over these past couple days. It's been a little bit stressful, but if you're seeing this, thank you. All of this editing and stuff, it's great. And being able to do this is a blessing. So thank you guys. Okay. Without further ado, don't forget you're amazing, and stay safe.